This is part 2 of my movie theory for Jordan Peele's Us. In this video, we'll be going deeper into the symbols and what they mean in this theory. If you haven't checked out part 1 yet, definitely watch that first. And also, if you like this, please do click subscribe down here. And without any further ado, let's get into this breakdown.
Let's take a sec to think back.
So check this out. Beginning of the movie, we have the images of the Hands Across America commercial, which is playing on the TV as young Adelaide watches from the couch. It's important for me to point out that the music that plays in the background of the commercial is actually a stripped down commercial jingle version of the same song that plays at the end of the movie, La Fleur, sung by Minnie Riperton. More on this later, but in this commercial, you see the eyes, you see the mouth or the hands of people of all races and colors. You get this image that's also going to be paralleled afterwards with the rabbits during the opening credits sequence. Why are rabbits there? We're understanding that there's a connection between what we see on the television screen up on the surface and what we're seeing in the underworld, right? So in the underworld, you have these rabbits, and where are they? They're in a classroom. We associate rabbits, of course, with the ideas around animal testing, right? When you have no animal cruelty, the image you see is actually a rabbit. Doing testing or experimentation, they'll do it on rabbits, right? So what's all that about? Rabbits are a symbol of both experimentation and reproduction, meaning one generation following another generation following another generation. The creation of the tethers and the presence of rabbits are one in the same. That person I started off with before I put the idea of being an American on to see if they actually take it, that's an experiment. Rabbits represent the American experiment. They're us. They're the test subjects that have descended from an original American experiment where, we first had people come into this place and be given a concept of what America is, the values of what America is, and how we are to be seen in the world. But that American experiment has since been abandoned. And for whatever reason this has happened, he allows it to be unclear. Regardless, in this analogy today, what do? They feed off of the remnants of the experiment, essentially symbols of themselves. The rabbits, we're kind of feeding off of our idea of what we originally were or supposed to be, and we imitate whatever narrative we're still tethered to, right? And again, that tethered narrative now coming through the form of film, television, our history. Are you still with me on this? Why is it in a classroom? Because there must be some aspect of how this is about education or the concepts around indoctrinating or teaching people something about who they are. Let me just make one key point about what we see at the intro. In the beginning of the movie, the idea of there being abandoned tunnels that nobody knows what they are all over America. The truth is that we do have abandoned tunnels. We have some idea of what they were used for the most part. In a way, what we're hearing right there is a major Easter egg. We're supposed to understand that yes, there is an abandoned tunnel, but in a metaphoric sense. The tunnels being below the surface mean that they are beneath or outside of the awareness or scope of the people on the surface. Are fictional narratives. These tunnels represent the constructs we use to navigate the world. Constructs such as our race, our beliefs, our rituals, our laws, our values, our ideas. We're connected by these constructs. We all follow them and live within them. But at the same time that we live within them, they serve as a prison to us, much like the tunnels do to the tethereds and caged rabbits underneath. Not a literal tunnel. Furthermore, the abandoning of the tunnels represents the abandoning of past ideas or constructs within a society, and is consequently depicted as such, with the liberation of the tethereds at the end of the movie. You dig me? So when you watch the movie again, look for everything on the surface as being a representation of what we like to believe we are, or what we value, and how different, starkly different that is from the reality he's saying we really are as Americans. And then you'll understand why the story is really about rooting for the Tethers. Tethereds. Which one do you say? The goal of making the real world control the story failed, and now the story is controlling the real world. That's what we're calling being tethered as Americans. In effect, we're being controlled by media influence, the way that we're engaging right now with our mediums and our storytelling mechanisms. That goes to everything from commercialism to the projections of beauty and our awarenesses around beauty. And the movie screen is a representation of this false narrative that we have, or this media influence that we get. It's Hollywood, it's the movies, it's all of it. It's the music, it's all of it. So we have to see that when he's telling us and making a statement like, since we've been up here, it's like there've been coincidences, things have been lining up. It's talking about the emulation, people seeing things in movies and then doing it, people feeling that's a representation of how we're supposed to be. And we do that, we emulate. And it comes as a result of what is an abandoned experiment, the American idea, according to Jordan Peele. Thanks for watching, and please click subscribe for more videos on this and other topics in the near future. This is Uncle Baye, and this is Right on Time.